The Justice Department has indicted 10 additional suspected fraudsters as part of the nation's largest combined healthcare fraud crackdown in history. Fox cameras were on it last night in Los Angeles when the FBI arrested defendants at the center of a $27 million Medicare scheme that took advantage of hospice patients. Prosecutors say one of the conspirators sold personal information of living and deceased patients to the owner of hospice facilities that he used to file fake claims for medical care. Gross. And the amount of theft is staggering. The Justice Department says $6.5 billion in healthcare fraud have been uncovered so far, involving more than 455 suspects across 45 states and territories. Law enforcement has seized more than $182 million in cash, cars, and other luxury assets. Look, we've seen this week with the rollout of Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche and the big numbers of what they're making happen. But every day now, they have said, from that day as yesterday, expect more.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we're talking about billions and billions of dollars. I mean, on the Medicare side, it's tens of billions. And when you consider all of healthcare spending, it's probably in the hundreds of billions of dollars. And you hope that AI, this is one of those things that you kind of hope technology can help solve at some level, that AI can catch these anomalies, can create a situation where the prosecutors have an easier way to prove the crime. Because we know that these fraudsters are quite sophisticated, and it's really sad to see these people driving these expensive cars, wearing all this luxury stuff at the expense of the most vulnerable people in our community. It's really sad.
Vulnerable, Emily, and some of them deceased. Like, imagine that family if they ever knew they were on the list of the fraudster.
Look, having a mother who passed away in hospice, this makes me sick to my stomach. I don't have enough words to, frankly, capture the rage that I feel and the despondence I'm sure those families feel. So I hope that the Justice Department uses correct marketing and messaging to let the rest of the country understand. Sometimes when you see numbers that are this big, I do it myself, you sort of like become desensitized. It's hard to grasp the amounts. I want every American to understand the theft was from them. The theft was from their family. And it's hard sometimes to picture it because once your dollar's gone out of your paycheck, it's sort of the government, right? That's the argument too of the socialists, right? It's someone else's money. It's not, it's ours. So I really want this to be wielded to an appropriate marketing messaging that A, scores up votes for the GOP, but also B, says this is what the DOJ is doing for you. This is what the fraud task force, the vice president is doing for you, because a lot of Americans were defrauded out of these billions for years without knowing it. And the audacity of these fraudsters to put it on their social media and celebrate it, it's because they knew there was no accountability. So now we have a new sheriff in town, but it stops here, and I want everyone to understand exactly how important this is. I think we're going to have an uphill battle, frankly, with the marketing and the media. Mainstream media on the left will never celebrate this, right? So it's up to us to spread that word.
Yeah, I want to get this in. Federal efforts to fight fraud, too much. 21% not enough. 60%, it's about right. Or excuse me, 60% not enough, and 17%, this is about right. Wow, so most people feel like we need to be doing more. Rachel, your thoughts?
Who are those 17%?
I don't know.
21%, I don't know who those people are. You talked about the luxury cars that they confiscated, Mayor, but there's a lot of this money is going overseas. We saw that in Minneapolis. I mean, almost the amount of their GDP was going through the Minneapolis airport in suitcases, in cash, and then given to people who we don't know, maybe even terrorist groups.
Did the TSA miss that? Because you're not allowed to have more than $9,999 in cash when you leave any country.
The TSA is run by the Somali community, if you've ever been through the Minneapolis airport. So there's that. So that has to be another investigation, if you ask me. Think about how many people died because this money didn't go to somebody who actually needed it. And I agree, the marketing has to be right. It's your money, but also the sentences need to be stiff. I think everybody who stole this money should have a life sentence, nothing less, unless we crack down on this as hard as we can. I don't believe in the death penalty, so I say life. Give them life in prison, and the next person might think twice before they defraud the American people.
Yeah, you could be looking at a $1 trillion fraud epidemic.
Wow. Yep.
I asked the Vice President of the United States, who's leading the fraud task force, that could it be $1 trillion? And he did not dismiss that possibility, J.D. Vance. You're exactly right, Mayor Suarez, when you say we could be looking at $100 billion or more in healthcare fraud alone. You're exactly right. Chris Rufo actually looked at this at the City Journal and looked at Medi-Cal in California, and what he found was using state estimates, applying a 15% fraud rate going back to 2019. He found that Medi-Cal in California alone might have squandered $146 billion to fraud. That is over several years, but that is one program in one state, happens to be the largest state. So what do you do to address this? Can't be whack-a-mole fraudster here, whack-a-mole fraudster there. Two things. Has to be a system-wide solution. And we saw that. Colin McDonald yesterday during your show, Harris, laid out how they're using technology, using AI. They saw the number of payments to allografts spike over a 3-year period. The algorithm said, look at allografts, and they went and found all of these fraudsters and addressed it. So system-wide addressing. Number 2, prosecute state employees. I talked to Joni Ernst over the weekend about this. Several state employees have been prosecuted. They're engaging in this fraud. We heard this in Minneapolis when they did a big press conference, because there are federal government employees. We covered one this weekend who was soliciting people on social media. She worked at the IRS and at the SBA to engage in the fraud alongside her, and she was a federal government employee. So talk about 2 double dips of your money. She's getting your paycheck, your money, your taxpayer dollars, and then stealing them beyond that. So there are great federal employees. Most of them are great, but we have to look at those who are engaging in this.
And I do think that the spotlight on, the Medicare and the Medicaid and all of healthcare is so important, because poll after poll has shown that Americans list that as their most worrisome expense.
Sure.
Like they can't live without it, but they also sometimes can't pay it. So hitting the fraud there, I think, is really a target.
May I say, too, I don't want to, inflame and start adding too much stuff in, but because of the Family First Prevention Act, I think I'm butchering the name of it, about foster kids, there's a whole sort of tension between the overheads that include Medicare and then what we pay for foster kids. So my point is, this type of fraud that affects Medicare and Medi-Cal and everything is actually greatly impeding the foster care system too. So if there's anything you care about in this world, someone is touched by it with this amount, and the sentences should.
You're stealing from foster kids, is what you're saying.
Yes.
The vulnerable.
Yes.
You should put it early.
Exactly. Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.